Alright guys, so recently there was a new Dragon Ball Heroes banner that came out on the JP side of Dokkan Battle. So I'm just going to be going through all of the new units that came out with that banner. Now it wasn't actually super recently, it was probably like 3 weeks ago at this point. But I did want to have time to like look at the units a little bit more. I didn't actually get to use them because I haven't logged into my JP account for a few months now. But I did want to have a few more time to look at some videos, look at their passives, and now I think I have a good ranking for them. So this is not all of the new units exclusively, this is just all of the units that are on the new Dragon Ball Heroes banner. So the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno, Goku, and Vegeta, they're all on the banner, and also so is the Supreme Kai of Time. So all of them are on here. Now the bottom three, they're all the fusions. Now you can put them in whatever order you want to because they all do very similar things. So we're going to start off with Gohanks, Xeno. He gets attack and defense 70% plus an additional attack and defense plus 20% with each super attack performed up to 80%. He launches an additional super attack when the enemy's in the attack down status. This guy's really good. I would say he's probably the worst. So he's definitely not bad. Like on super attack he seals, which is why I think he's the worst. He has the worst super attack mechanic. Because all the fusions do very similar things on their passives, but I think he does the worst thing on super. So he seals. And then moving on, here we have Gotenks Xeno, and he gets attack and defense 80%, plus an additional attack and defense 20% with each super attack performed up to 80%, and he launches an additional super attack when the target enemy's super attack is sealed. And on super attack, this guy lowers attack and defense. So basically, whichever one of them you think hits harder, which looking at their attack, 13-5. Yeah, it looks like Gohanks will actually hit harder. So if you ran them on the same team, and it is good that both of these units are on the Fusion team. Fusion team did need some new units. Now these aren't like top tier options for the Fusion team, but if you don't have many options, they're good. And if you made them a rotation, whichever one you had in the first slot, the one in the second slot would additional super, because this one lowers attacks, and then Gohanks additional supers if the enemy has the attack down status, and this one seals, and the other one additional supers if the opponent is sealed. So definitely really good. I do think the Gotenks is better though, just because I feel like lowering attack is a lot better of an I almost said of an event, of a mechanic, but that is just like to each their own. And this guy I had up here just purely because he's the best on the Legendary Goku event, and I know some people are sick of that, but so Vegeta, the fusion of Vegeta and Trunks. So he also gets attack and defense 70% when performing a super attack. He has a chance to perform a crit up 7% with each super attack performed up to 35%. Really, really good. And then he launches an additional super attack when the enemy has the attack down or defense down status. So he's really good, but he does infinitely stack defense, and that's why I had him on top of the fusions. You can really have Vegeta or Gotenks up here. I really do think Gohanks is probably the worst, although they are all super close. So it's not like I'm calling one of them trash. They're all very, very close. It's just this is the order I would have them in. Gohanks at the bottom, Gotenks in the middle, and Vegeta at the top of the fusions. So now, moving on, how many do we have left? We have 6 left. So this is where all of them that are left now are insane. All of them are TURs. Those first 3, they were all SSR units. They do not have a Dokkan Awakening. Fu here is insanely good. I cannot even with how good Fu is. One thing is, he is, at the moment of me recording this, the only Dragon Ball Heroes category leader for 3 key and 130%. So it's not a great category leader skill, but the team is actually like pretty decent. So on super attack, he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, really, really good, and he seals super attack. He does immense. Like, doing immense is insane. He almost has 15,000 attack, which is really decent. His passive, he gets attack and defense 150% when performing a super attack. Already, that's insane. Key plus 4, well, key plus 1, up to 4, and chance of evading enemy's attack up per time traveler category ally on the team. Now, if you look at his categories, he has 2 of them. He has time travelers. We're going to open that in a new tab. And then he has Dragon Ball Heroes. We're going to open that in a new tab. Actually, I think we're just going to open Dragon Ball Heroes. Because the thing about the Dragon Ball Heroes category, there's so much overlap. between that and time travelers, it's almost insane. Like pretty much before this Fu came out, the unofficial Dragon Ball Heroes team was time travelers. Let's look over here. Hopefully it'll load. Okay. Hello. So just looking here, time traveler, like just a lot of the units here are time travelers. So because of that, you could just run a full Dragon Ball Heroes team. Obviously the Trunks is a time traveler. Just a lot of Xeno units, most of them are time travelers. Not all of them, but a good amount of them are time travelers. So anyways, there's Fu. Fu is extremely good. Probably has the best leader skill of the bunch, but I do have him here at number 6. Now everyone who's left is just, I mean, including Fu actually, it's just like all of these Dragon Ball Heroes units are insane. Like if you get the fusions, if you do like 2 multis and both multis you get a fusion, that's kind of a rip. Just because the fusions are definitely the worst. Not bad, but just not great. So now at number 5, I do have this Vegeta. Now, looking back on it, I think I would actually have this Vegeta behind Fu. But, you know, whatever. This guy's leader skill, he gives Dragon Ball Heroes category or super physical, 3 key and 100% stats. That's a decent leader skill for Dokkan Battlefield, you know, if you don't have any other better options. Super attack, he greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage to enemy, and he greatly lowers defense. So that is one thing you'll see a lot with these Dragon Ball Heroes units. They will do double things on their super attack, like he greatly raises attack for 1 turn, and then he also greatly lowers enemies' defense. Now the lowering defense is only so good. If he's in the Legendary Goku event and you have a counter unit on your team, that can be useful. So like if you're running, let's say, Time Travelers, or even Dragon Ball Heroes, and for some reason you're deciding to run the Great Saiyaman 3, I think it is, which I would not recommend running in the Legendary Goku event, by the way, but he would do more damage on counters. And then I guess Vegeta's family as well, the Vegeta and Bulma, would also do more damage on counters. But looking at his passive, he gets attacking defense plus 100% and disables enemy's guard. Attacking defense 100% is pretty good. Disabling enemy's guard is basically useless. Because it's not like the Gogeta ability. It only activates when you're going up against, for him it would be like Super STR. He wouldn't hit with like full type disadvantage, he would just hit with like half type disadvantage. So that is one thing. And then after that, he disables enemy's guard, attack and defense, and a chance of performing a crit up 7% per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team, up to 35%. That is really good. And then he gets an additional 50% attack when performing a super attack. So the first 100% and this bottom 50% multiply into each other. I am not actually sure how this 35% works. I don't think that multiplies into each other. I think that just gets added to the 100% at the start of turn. But if you have him with a full Dragon Ball Heroes team, he can hit really hard, especially with the greatly raising of his attack. His attack isn't the highest, but it's definitely not low, down here at 14,000. So he's overall a good unit. I think I might have Fu above him. But anyways, we're just going to continue on here. So here we have Cumber. And Cumber is a super Battle Road killer. I don't know what happened. Okay, there we go. He is insane for Super Battle Road. And his card is just a lot easier to understand than all the other cards. His leader skill, Extreme Class 3 key, HP attack and defense 80%. Another leader skill that could be useful for Dokkan Battlefield if you have no teams left. Like, let's say Jiren is just beating you up, and you need one last team. Go in for one final shot. This guy could be your leader. His super attack, he causes immense damage to enemy and greatly lowers attack and defense. Greatly lowers attack and defense. Okay? That's monstrous. He gets 2 key and attack and defense plus 150% at the start of turn. That is crazy. And he has a high chance of stunning all superclass enemies after receiving an attack, which again is insane. So basically, if he's in Super Battle Road and he gets hit, there's a 50% chance the whole field will not be able to attack for the rest of the turn. That is really, really good. And then he has a 50% chance of turning into a giant ape when HP is 50% or below. Now, the only real thing about his Great Ape is he gets, an additional 2 key at the start of turn. Which doesn't sound crazy, but it is actually pretty good. Because the one thing about giant apes is, like, well, they don't do much damage just because, like, they don't have any links active. But it's also difficult for them to super, so this extra key is actually really, really good. This Cumber like, of the new units, he is probably one of my favorites. I know he's not, like, the best, but I have him at number 4 here, and you could have him at number 3 realistically. But anyways, moving on now. Number 3, we all know who this is. This is the Supreme Kai of Time, the Supreme Kai of Thick, the Supreme Opie of Time, whatever you want to call her. She is crazy, okay? So she was good even before she Dokkan Awakened, but let's just look at her now. So on her super attack, she massively raises defense for 1 turn. That is, like, I feel like people don't understand how crazy that is. That's what Super Saiyan 4 Goku does, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, on super attack. And that's what LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does on his 18 key super attack. That's so much extra defense that this, like, support type unit didn't need to have, but because she has it, she's so much better. She also seals super attack really, really good. She is good in, like, all of the difficult defense. Just because, you know, all allies 3 key attack and defense 30% will never be bad. And also she does extra stuff. We're gonna get to her passive in a second, but that's never going to be bad. And her massively raising her defense, which is 100%, right? 100% for 1 turn. Insane. Sealing is never a bad thing. Even if you can't use it, it's not like, it's never going to hurt you. It's only ever going to help you. And if it can't be used, whatever. Passive, all allies get 3 key attack and defense 30% and a chance of performing a crit up 12%. And then there's a great chance of an additional attack plus 12% for all allies and a great chance of defense plus 12% for all allies. So most of the time from her, you're going to be getting 3 key, 42% attack and defense, and a 12% chance to crit. That is really, really good. The only thing that I would like better is, like, I feel like I would like this unit better if she just gave attack and defense 35%. Like, I know that's 7% less stats that you'd be getting, but at least you'd be getting it all the time. I like consistency. I don't like a chance for things to happen. But she is really, really good. Batara, Realm of Gods, Time Travelers, Dragon Ball Heroes, you're going to use her everywhere, okay? Like, there's not a place where she's bad. So she's probably the most versatile unit, the one that you could use in the most places, but she is definitely not the best. Moving on now, Golden Cooler. Now, Golden Cooler is a lot. So let's just go through him. He raises attack infinitely on super attack and causes immense damage to enemy. Pretty good, not the best. His passive gets attack and defense plus 100%. All allies get 2 key and 20% attack and defense, plus an additional attack and defense 30%, and launches an additional attack with a medium chance of becoming a super attack when there are 3 more Dragon Ball Heroes category allies on the team. He's insane because 100% attack and defense is never ever bad. Like, that's always a good number. That has never been a small number. And then he's also a support type unit, so he's like this new wave of almost category leader. Like, I know he's not a category leader, but he's built like the new wave of category leaders, like the Base Form Future Gohan, STR Cooler, the new Android 13. All of them have this, like, support type buff, plus an extra, like, 100%, or in, I think it's 16's, I mean, in 13's case, he gets an extra 30%, 130 is what I meant, 130. So it's just like, this guy is really good. He supports the rotation a little bit. 2 key and 20% isn't much, but on top of what he's already doing, even if you don't have a full Dragon Ball Heroes category team, he's still insanely good. Also, I'm not actually sure if Cooler is good enough to be number 2. Looking at it now, this could be 100% bias. I think this is 100% bias, but I love this Golden Cooler. He is the only reason that when this Dragon Ball Heroes banner comes out on Global, I'm summoning. If I get him first multi, I'm out. And then, of course, everyone knew who number 1 is. Big surprise. It's the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku. Everyone knows what he does. He's insane. So, super attack causes immense damage to enemy with a high chance of stunning. That's crazy. I mean, like, let's just look at this for a second. If someone hasn't beaten the Super STR stage of Super Battle Road for some reason, and they have this guy in the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, it's a wrap. You could have the rest of the units be Saiyamen. Saibamen is what I meant. And they could beat it. Just because this guy and that Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta are such good defensive units, as well as their chance to stun, I think you could realistically beat the Super STR stage with just those 2 units. It's insane. So going to his passive, he gets attack and defense 100% and guard activated against all attacks. That's insane. And then he gets an additional attack plus 50% when performing a super attack, and damage received minus 70, not 70, whoa, that would be crazy. Damage received minus 7% per Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team, up to 35%. So basically, his attack, the 100% and the 50% will multiply into each other, so he'll hit decently hard. And then he's going to have damage reduction, and he's going to guard against all attacks, and he's going to have defense. Now, he's not going to be taking like double digits from Int UI Goku, but he is going to be reducing damage enough that I think it warrants him being in this #1 spot. I guess you could say he has niche links, because, you know, all Super Saiyan 3s have niche links, except for Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, who for some reason they gave Over in a Flash and Prepared for Battle. But his links kind of hold him back. Like, the top 5 Dragon Ball Heroes units, like, I feel like there's a clear tier list here. And on the bottom tier, you have the fusion units that just came out, and the top tier is just everything after them. You know, Cumber had 150% attack, Fu had 150% attack, this guy has crazy defense. The Supremo Pi of Time is one of the best support type units in the game. The Dragon Ball Heroes banner, there's such value there if you don't pull one of the fusion units. You know, they're not bad at all. I need to hammer this home, because someone's going to be like, why are you trashing the fusion unit so much? I'm not. It's just they're not on the level of any of these other units. And they could be in the future, because remember, they're the only units that don't have TURs. But as of right now, I mean, that Dragon Ball Heroes banner has such a value that, like, once it comes out on Global, I would almost recommend people summon. Because this guy's insane, and no one on Global has him. Because the only way that you could get him on Global was unfeatured from the last Dragon Ball Heroes banner. But remember, the last Dragon Ball Heroes banner had a 7% featured rate and a 3% unfeatured rate, and it was guaranteed featured SSR in the last lot of the multi. So because of that, like, no one pulled this guy or the Vegeta. And I think probably this Primo Pi of Time too. I don't remember if she was on the banner. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't touch that last Dragon Ball Heroes banner because I knew that the LR Gohan and Cell were coming out. So I saved. I think I'm gonna blow all of my stones on this once it comes back. All of these units are crazy. Let me know what your guys' list would be. I guess one thing about this guy is he only has 145% 12 key multiplier, which isn't bad by any means. Don't get that twisted, but it could be better. But anyways, guys, let me know what your list looks like. Let me know who you think is the best. Let me know which fusion you think is the worst. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, please consider leave a like, a comment, subscribing to the channel. My name has been Blahuru, and I will see you guys next time.